Hey guys, and welcome to my chapter of One Piece, chapter 765. We jumped straight in from the call from Doflamingo from last week, and we are informed that Doflamingo has got a clue into where the Ope Ope fruit is. Apparently, a pirate crew has found it, and the Marines have paid them for the Ope Ope fruit. Apparently, a huge sum of money to get the Ope Ope fruit. And once Doflamingo gets his hands on the Ope Ope fruit, he wants Coruscant to be the one who eats it. We also find out Doflamingo suspects Coruscant. We know he's been gone for 6 months, so Doflamingo has been suspecting him of leaking information to the Marines because he's in a meeting with Diamante and everyone, Diamante, Pika, and everyone, and we find out that that the Marines, because the Marines are after Doflamingo now, see it when Coruscant's not around, is a bit suspicious. It's a bit suspicious that they would attack now, seeing Coruscant is not around. So Doflamingo suspects that Coruscant could be leaking information or giving the Marines some tips on to where Doflamingo might be. He also says that after talking to Pika and everyone, he also says it's not fun to. He doesn't find it fun to be suspecting his brother. So we kind of see he does care for his brother at the end of the day. It's just obviously if Coruscant is leaking information, Doflamingo will have no choice but to silence his brother. We then cut back to Coruscant and Law, and Coruscant speaks to Law that if anyone has any slight medical experience or any intellect into how operations and medical stuff works, that if they get the Ope Ope fruit, they will be able to cure any illness. And he tells Law that once he obtains the fruit, it'll be Law who will eat the fruit. Law asks why does he want Law to, and obviously Coruscant explains that because he has the devil fruit, the devil fruit to make everything around the bubble silent, that if he eats the Ope Ope fruit as well, he will die. So because Doflamingo doesn't know he has this devil fruit, he plans to go behind Doflamingo's back and try and get the Ope Ope fruit before Doflamingo can get his hands on it. This way he can cure Law, while Law can cure himself, and they will escape into the shadows and live their own lives without Doflamingo. He also explains that because they've been gone for 6 months, Doflamingo probably already considers them a traitor, so there's no way he can go back to the family now without Doflamingo dying. And he also says that the only reason Doflamingo wants him to eat the Ope Ope fruit now is so he can sacrifice himself to give Doflamingo immortality, which we know from a couple of chapters ago that the Ope Ope fruit's ultimate ability is to give someone immortality in exchange for their own life. Coruscant then calls Sengoku and asks him where the Ope Ope fruit is. Sengoku is obviously in shock. How does Coruscant know about this information, and how did Doflamingo find out? But Coruscant explains that Doflamingo is planning to ambush the Navy and get their hands on the Ope Ope fruit. So they make a deal, and Sengoku gives Coruscant the information he needs to go and find the fruit. He also tells Sengoku that he will give him a list of names of all the people who have been working with Doflamingo, and Sengoku plans to wipe out the whole family on the day of the meeting. 3 days before the meet where Coruscant goes to meet Doflamingo, he plans on taking out the whole family. Law then passes out because of the illness he has and collapses on the floor, and we see Coruscant really trying to wake him up, telling him that he has 3 weeks left, his estimations can't be wrong, he needs to wake up and just survive for 3 more weeks so they can get him the fruit. We then cut to them sailing on a boat, and Law asks Coruscant and explains to Coruscant that the Navy made his people dig into the ground and dig up the dig the ground even though they knew it would kill them. They knew of the illness, they knew what would happen, but the Marines still chose to let them do that. So the Marines are responsible for his race dying, so obviously he hates Marines. And he asked Coruscant again, are you a navy? Are you part of the navy? And Coruscant goes straight to him and says, no, I'm not. So I don't know if this is like Coruscant explaining to like telling the truth, or did Coruscant? Because obviously we saw the picture of Coruscant in a navy's uniform. So I'm wondering if Coruscant must have had some falling out with the government maybe, and he left the Marines, but he still has ties to them, so he always helps them out. Because we know he's undercover for the Marines, but I don't know if he left before that point, so that's why he considers himself to be nothing with the Marines, or he just, for Law's sake, he just wants to, he's just lying to Law just for his sake, because he doesn't want Law to hate him, because if he lies to Law, well, if he tells Law he's a Marine, Law will not want to follow him anymore, and Law won't get healed. 3 days before the trade, we get another call from Sengoku, and he tells Law about the pirates that are on the base. So the fruit has been hauled by someone called Diaz Barrels, and he's the leader of this group of pirates. And Sengoku explains that there is a bunch of Marines surrounding the whole island, as well as the other island where they're going to meet, where Doflamingo and Coruscant are going to meet later on, so they can ambush everyone. We then get to see Coruscant's devil fruit in action, and to be honest, this is it was a little joke in the first place, but later on we'll see how this devil fruit can really help someone like Coruscant. Because we get this little comedy routine of Coruscant inside his sound barrier, and he's like singing, and he starts smashing vases and shooting guns and cannons, and you can't hear the sound whatsoever. You can't hear anything. And Law says that yeah, his devil fruit is lame. That even Baby 5 has a better devil fruit than Coruscant. But then we get to see the devil fruit in action, and the way this is like a really cool devil fruit, especially for stealth, because you can use guns, you can use anything, cannons, guns, because Coruscant goes around the whole mansion where the pirates are to get the Ope Ope fruit, and he like shoots within his sound barrier, and no sound comes up whatsoever, so he can shoot anyone. It's literally a giant silencer. So he keeps shooting these pirates. He fires a cannon inside the barrier and explodes half the house and sets the whole house on fire, but no one knows where that sound come from. Like, no one knows why there's a fire there. They know there's an explosion, but they don't have any idea where the sound came from, so they get no warning whatsoever. And I just think it's a really cool ability for stealth wise, because you could literally do, if he's firing cannons in here, think about the other stuff he could just fire inside this sound barrier and no one would ever see it coming. So we see Coruscant attack the mansion, and he manages to get the Ope Ope fruit without being spotted. He then runs out of the mansion, but being how clumsy he is, he trips and falls down the mountainside. The chapter ends with Coruscant on the floor, and he's surrounded by the pirates, and he basically just says, Law, just give me a little bit more time and I will heal you. He's just basically begging Law. Can we see Law like cuddled up, just trying to keep himself warm at the bottom of this mountain, like this snowy mountain, and he basically just tells Law to just wait for me, like I will come back and I will heal you. And that was the chapter. This was a really good chapter. I'm really loving this flashback. This was a bit, you didn't get as much, we got quite a lot of information, but not as much twists and turns as we did last week. But the fact that Coruscant is going full out just to save Law is really heart-wrenching, and even though it's not as emotional as it was last week, like such a tearjerker that it was last week, but it's becoming a really good flashback, and I'm really enjoying it. So if I had to rate this one, I'd probably give it a 4.5 out of 5. I've really enjoyed it, and I can't wait until next week and see what happens when the Marines try to ambush Doflamingo, and see when Law actually obtains his Ope Ope fruit power. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe. I'll be back later on with my Bleach review, and I'll see you guys next week. Alright, cheers then, bye.